Ah. Namaste, Facebook and social media world. I'm Steven, and welcome to another episode of Steven's Celebrity Trivia. It's not a secret that I'm obsessed with the 80s, and one of my favorite movie genres was the Nightmare on Elm Street series. We had Nightmare 1 with Heather Langenkamp, Nightmare 2 with the amazing Mark Patton, 3 was with Patricia Arquette, also with Heather Langenkamp, and then came Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and 5, starring Lisa Wilcox, the woman that kicked Freddy's ass, the woman that kicked the asses of the hearts of the entire audience, the woman that stole the hearts of the audience, the woman that stole my heart. And here we are talking with the badass, beautiful, killer, vixen, beauty, diva, Lisa Wilcox. What's up, Lisa Wilcox?
You're up.
Well, actually, you know what? Hold on one second. I don't like what I'm wearing. In my dreams, I can change in 2 seconds. What? Actually, this might still be a little bit too much. Thank you for being here. Welcome to Steven's Celebrity Trivia.
Well, thank you for having me.
This is so awesome. Like I said, I've been wanting to talk with you for like over 20 years now, since Nightmare on Elm Street 4 came out, and then you became a badass superstar of the 80s. Now, we all know the role that you're famous for, and of course that's Candace when you were in Valerie's Family, and
That's right. And then it became Hogan's Family.
That's right.
I did the episode where the lead, Valerie Harper, her show, and then the network fired her, and we reshot the episode with Sandy Duncan.
That was your
That's
episode?
the episode when all that happened.
Oh shit! No, you shouldn't have told me that. Now I want to talk about. So quickly.
Well, I couldn't resist but to throw that in there. And back then, and I think I still have some of the tabloids, it was all over the magazines and tabloids about the Valerie and the network and the whole thing that happened. It's crazy. Anyway. And
you were the star of that episode. Was there there must have been like tension everywhere on the set. How did you deal with that? Oh my God.
It's very strange. There was no tension. It was back from a hiatus. And so they're all back and they're all happy to see each other. I'm a guest star. First time I'm meeting them all, but they were all really happy. Valerie had just gotten her hair cut really short. It was really cute. Lovely, lovely, lovely cast. And so, you know, we did the episode. It was a sitcom, and you have the audience comes in on Friday. You rehearse all week, and then the audience comes in on a Friday, and we do live. We do it twice, you know, and I mean, it was totally fine. So I was completely shocked to learn that she had been fired and all that chaos. So anyway.
That is killer trivia.
You're welcome.
So how did it go from, in your mind, when you were a guest stars on sitcoms and then you became to a leading lady, and not only a leading lady, but an 80s icon? How did you handle all that?
I didn't even really, I don't know. It was fine. You know, I didn't change. My head didn't grow or anything like that. You know, it was interesting. I had gotten married just before filming Nightmare on Elm Street 4. And so after 4 came out, and it was this summer blockbuster and all that. And we would go to events, and there'd be paparazzi, and they'd call my husband Mr. Wilcox. His last name is Sherman. he had a harder time with it all than I did, I think. Anyway.
So you got married in 1988?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I had children starting 91 was my first son. So pretty, 3 years after Nightmare on Elm Street. And actually I learned that I got Nightmare on Elm Street on my honeymoon. So I had a callback for Alice on a Friday, and I was getting married, 150 people wedding that Sunday. And then we went off to Hawaii for our honeymoon, and then I got the call on my honeymoon that I gotten it. And actually I had to come back early from my honeymoon. So anyway.
What I wanted to know is, how old were your kids when you first let them watch your movies?
I waited till they were 13.
And what did they say to them? Did they ever
They
brag
thought it was really great, but we were in Los Angeles, and everyone is a writer or director or producer or actor or whatever. So it was kind of like, oh, well, mom does what everyone else does, And then my husband, he's my ex-husband now, but their dad was actually a writer producer as well. So yeah, but they loved the character Alice. They did, but they were like, Mom, you had red hair. I said, I know, honey, I had virgin blonde hair. And then I got the role of Alice, and they asked if I would dye my hair red. So they did a rinse, and I didn't want to dye it. It was, so we did a rinse every single morning, which was quite time consuming actually. And then cause it's a liquid, then there would be 2 blow dryers going on my head to get it dry. And of course, inevitably, Randy Harlan would call a rehearsal, and I'm like, got with this apron on and red dye, and it was really pretty funny. So, but anyway, ultimately it stained my hair. So anyway, in Nightmare 5, you can see I'm a little more blonde,
Yeah.
But eventually I had to start getting highlights on my hair and stuff. But it was totally worth it. Alice is such a redhead, and my mom is a redhead. Dad is blonde. My mom is a redhead, green eyes.
Please don't tell Heather Langenkamp, but I love Alice better than Nancy. You can't tell Heather Langenkamp that.
Okay, mum's the word.
Hey, sorry to interrupt, folks. I just had to give a shout out to Heather Langenkamp and say, come on, that was only a joke. You know I love you, Heather. In fact, you and I got to hang out one time at the Nightmare 3 screening. Remember the guy who asked you, hey, Heather, where's your hall pass? And you said, screw your pass. Yeah, that was me. Come on, we go back. I love you, Heather. Hope you're enjoying the episode. And by the way, come on, be a guest. Come talk to me. Heather, come on. I'm waiting for you. Enjoy the rest of the episode. You remember your audition for Nightmare 4. They make you do martial arts.
Get up there and just like that, big and strong. Do it.
They sent me and Andras actually to karate school.
So Andras wasn't already a karate master? He didn't know?
No.
Oh.
We went to karate school to learn as much as we could. So but he totally rocked it, right? He totally sold it.
He did.
Yeah.
Speaking of martial arts, I would like to share with you a clip. This is the scene where you were kicking Freddy's ass. I'm going to turn the sound down so that if you can give commentary. First of all, are any of the exteriors of those churches real in any of the movies, or is every single church a soundstage?
All of the cathedral and church is interior production made. That all was a set. That was all built on a soundstage. All of the church stuff. Okay.
Is this really you fighting?
Yeah. I mean, a good part of the time, definitely. I had an amazing martial arts, black belt gal who would be my body double at times. But no, that's me doing the kicks and the punches and all that stuff.
And that was not Robert Englund taking those punches. That is a stunt double, correct?
No, that was us. Well, there could have been. No, I think that's all Robert. Yeah. I mean, a lot of it was us. When you see me, then when I'm flipping though through the church, that's not me. But I did start it because I did gymnastics in high school. So I could do cartwheels and things like that. So, but no, that's Robert. That's both of us. Okay. That up there.
Yeah.
That was just a second ago. That was a body double. Yeah. Stunt double, really.
Okay.
So.
Was this all choreographed?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Choreographed. And then at one point we're up on like this sort of raised platform, which was about, I'd say 4 feet off the ground. But we had, there were people on the side to make sure if we fell off, we would be caught.
Okay.
Yeah, that was me doing that thing, bouncing up. I don't know if can everyone see this still?
Yeah.
The scene?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
okay.
on screen share. Yeah. Do you still have any of those props? Do you still have that band?
No.
You have any?
We didn't know. Honestly, back then, we didn't even know or think to ask to keep anything, So,
okay.
Yeah. I did get a dress from Nightmare 5, the last scene in Nightmare 5. I was given some wardrobe, but I've sold the dress at an auction a couple of years ago. So, yes, if only we had thought to ask, can we keep this? But we just didn't.
That wristband. Oh, you should have kept that.
I know. I have a wonderful gal, Taylor. She actually had one made for me that's like a identical replica. It's fabulous. And actually I do take it to conventions because it's fun to take a picture with it on your wrist.
Of course. How did Robert Englund introduce himself to you? Did he have his Freddy makeup on, or what was your first interaction with Robert?
He had his makeup on, yes, but he was just lovely and introduced himself and, welcome aboard and, all that kind of thing. We talked about the script and, yeah. Oftentimes too, we would be in the same makeup trailer because I'm getting this rinse put on and blow dried, and he'd be getting makeup on and stuff like that. So we had many, many chats in the trailer.
And that was actually his voice, his Freddy voice. Is he really able to get his voice down that deep? Or what I always thought here's what I thought. He always said his lines and then they dubbed his voice in a Freddy voice. Is that accurate?
It's his voice. They do tinker. Yeah, it's his voice, but they tinker with it. They do a little something to it. But no, that's his voice. Yeah. There
is another scene, one of my favorite scenes, when Never Sleep Again came out. I was a little upset that they didn't go over this scene intricately. Is this a real movie theater? Is this all a sound stage? And how did you do this scene?
Okay, the theater scene is what was the most complicated scene in the entire film. Mick Strawn, who was a production designer, actually wrote a book, Behind the Screams. I highly recommend you read it, Behind the Screams by Mick Strawn. And he talks about this is the interior. What you're seeing is the interior of the theater in Pasadena. I want to say the Palo Alto. So that's a real theater that's happening. And, a real movie playing, the whole thing. So that is the theater. But then what happens as we're getting closer to, they built this sort of gurney thing, for me to lay down on. Oh, this scene here, that clip right there, that was shown in the Academy Awards a few years ago. And the Academy Awards, how they do a break and they celebrate comedies or horror films or whatever. So the editor who did that section of Academy Awards, huge Alice Nightmare on Elm Street fan. Anyway, that was a clip used. Okay, so now we have the fan going. Yes, we have like a gardener blower blowing on my face, okay? This scene was built on stage. What they did is they built the stage perpendicular to the ground, basically, and then strapped to the chair so that it's tilted so you could get that effect of the soda and the popcorn flying the way it did.
Okay.
So this is where they built a gurney for me to lay down on. So I'm holding the railing, but I'm actually laying down here, right there. I'm laying down on something with wheels, and I let go of the railing and the gurney rolls back like 2 feet to get that shot that looks like I'm, about to fly in the air. Okay, as far as flying into the theater, that screen, you'd have to get someone from special effects to explain how the heck they did that amazing effect. And that again, there is in the theater, and now we're at the Crave-In. Isn't it so cool going from the color to the black and white? I just love it.
With this was actually the set that they just dressed down. They didn't build another set. This was the actual interior set, right?
This is an interior set, and yeah, it's the same one. We shot all of the clean stuff first when it's normal, and then this was later on in filming when they add the cobwebs and, you know, this look that you see. Oh, this shot here.
Here we go. Here we go. Your old lady makeup. I love this.
Yeah.
Come on, honey. I don't want to be here all day.
Now, this was interesting. They tried old age makeup on me 3 different kinds to get the effect, the look they wanted. Initially, my mom was going to play old Alice because my mom and I are like twins of each other. And, but they decided she did not look nearly old enough.
Here we go. Here we go. Okay. How did they do? I know that it was, okay, now those are fake, but how did he actually get the knife near his head?
That part right there with
how did they
Rick?
Do that?
Yeah, what they did is they built a ginormous like pizza, okay, that could fit a human face. So Andras, who plays Rick, puts his face. They cut it out so his face looks like it's in a pizza. And it's his real head and face and everything.
That's ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, and then of course the little meatball. That was all electronics. Amazing, you know, amazing. It was such an amazing crew and special effects folks. So creative.
Screaming Mad George. That was Screaming Mad George.
Yes, the pizza though was done by hold on. Oh, he passed away recently too.
I'm sorry.
Oh gosh, his name will come to me. I'm sorry, I'm blanking out. It's terrible. And actually, I worked with him, and he directed me in Watchers with Mark Hamill. Carl Berger. Oh no, what's his name? Oh shoot, I'm so embarrassed. Anyway, there were many. Screaming Mad George. He was a big part of Debbie turning to the cockroach. But there were numerous special effects artists, you know, for different parts of the movie.
Okay. When you found out that they were making part 5, were you satisfied with the way that they brought Freddie back? When you read it, did you go, huh? His mother was raped? What's going on here now?
No, I was very intrigued by the script. I absolutely was. And I think it was a great shift to Amanda Kruger, you know. Now it's interesting, Nightmare 5 is the one that has the least screen time of Robert Englund. Least free screen time of Robert. Yeah, Freddie.
It's a boy!
Which is very interesting. But no, I thought the script to me, Nightmare 5, is I call it the very brave little film, because it dealt with so many taboo subject matters, which perhaps in 1989 people weren't ready for, nor something they wanted to, you know, take part in a horror film. Because look, we have teen pregnancy, we're contemplating abortion, then we have Greta, bulimia, anorexia, then we have Dad, who's the recovered alcoholic, then we have, it's all over the map as far as, you know, some very heavy subject matters. So to me, I think it was very, very brave. And it's interesting, I would say in the past 2 or 3 years, 5 is actually people's favorite, which is very, very interesting.
Did you also think of one little film flub about Yvonne that did not make any sense? She graduated high school the same as you, and all of a sudden, not only does she work at she's the manager of a gym, but also she's an RN.
Well, I don't think she's an RN per se. I don't know. Candy Striper, maybe. I don't know.
Don't you have to
remember that? And remember Candy Striper?
So I always
very interesting. She's just a very brainy child, and maybe she grabbed. I don't know. But good catch. Good catch.
Has anybody said that you would be the most perfect Xena warrior princess?
You know what? Actually, yes, I have gotten that, you know, and I'm supposed to be doing a film kind of like that. So I have a horse, and I'm a warrior, you know, like the warriors in Wonder Woman. You know, I'm a huge Wonder Woman fan, by the way.
Yeah, I know that.
So, so I'll get my time, and I'm the elder, you know, of course, the elder now, but you know, I'll take it.
That's why I asked. I knew that you're a big Wonder Woman fan, and that's why I asked. She should have been Xena Warrior Princess. And I thought to ask you, I'll bet that she knew that, and I'll bet that she gets that all the time.
Well, thank you. That's a fabulous compliment.
Last thing, were you satisfied by the ending of Freddy versus Jason? And what did you think of the Nightmare on Elm Street 2010, Jackie Earle Haley?
I haven't seen Freddy versus Jason. I'm sorry.
What?
I haven't seen it. And, but I did see the remake. I did see the remake. I'm a huge fan of Jackie Earle Haley. I think he's a freaking amazing actor and whatnot, but it's really a tough role to fill. Those are tough shoes to fill. They just are, because I mean, Robert Englund just has Freddy down, you know what I mean? And, I'm surprised that more special effects weren't in the remake actually. Now that we're in the day and age of so much available, back in the 80s, it was like, there was CGI. I don't know. I mean, that was, you know, they were all practical effects. You know, they literally had to figure out practically how to turn someone into a cockroach or whatever, you know? So yeah. Anyway, so my bad. Well, if we talk again, I promise I will have seen that one. I've been a busy woman raising 2 boys, of course now are grown, but there's spaces in my life that, like, I didn't see a movie other than Disney stuff with my children for years. So please forgive me.
Of course. And you're always working. You're one of the most busiest women in Hollywood. You're one of the most interesting women. You're Lisa freaking Wilcox. You get asked.
Well, I took a long break. I took a very, very long break, but I am back to acting again. And there's some really cool stuff. A movie called Mystery Spot that's going to come out. I just did a movie called Seasons. There's a whole bunch of things. Of course, last year everything got pushed to this year. So, but yeah, it's a good year.
All right. Well, thank you. So, have you ever been to a Madonna concert?
No, I haven't, but I would love to. I've been to Rolling Stones. I've been to Eagles. I'm going to see Styx, my favorite 80s band in the whole world. I'm going to see Styx in September. As soon as that came out, I'm like, bought my ticket. But I've never seen Madonna. But she's amazing. What a fascinating life she's led.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, Lisa Wilcox, you were a freaking awesome. You are one of the most. I just talked to one of my idols, and you're on my screen, but it's almost like you're just. It's like not real.
Oh well, thank you. It was a lot of fun. It was. Yes. We'll do it again sometime.
I hope so. All right. Well, have an awesome night, Lisa Wilcox.
Thank you.
Take it easy.
Cheers.
Right,
bye. Bye.
you.